What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are Traditional Fans with Opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, Episode 7. So in this one, it starts with Kinjaku like waking up some people in like colonies. Now we see a lot from Setsuko Sasaki's perspective. So Sasuke was in Yuji's occult club, and Kinjaku thanks Sasaki for being friends with his son. Now people know that Kinjaku is we don't know what Kinjaku originally looked like. We still he's in Gale's body, but one of the previous bodies he was in was Yuji's mother, and that Kinjaku gave birth to Yuji. Yeah, so Yuji's father banged a corpse. Yeah, I don't. So yeah, and basically everyone had a dream about Kinjaku waking them up, but Sasaki was the only one who basically who Kinjaku said something about Yuji too. So the calling game begins. So Hakari agrees to join Yuji and Megami. And so what the plan is for searching for trying to find these different sorcerers. So you have there's some different sorcerers who had formed pacts with Kinjaku back in the day. Now Sukuna is believed to be one of them since Yuji's already a member, a player. So also Sukuna back in the day was one. So some other sorcerers you have Hajime Kashimo and Hiromi Higuruma. And so basically, the plan is for Hakari and Panda to go in one direction and Yuji and Megumi to go another to find their targets. So yeah, and it's funny. So when Hakari wants some rule changes to be made to Jujutsu sorcerers, especially with curse energy and all that being public knowledge. And yeah, so then basically in this yeah, so then so everyone leaves, so Yuji's concerned about um Sukuna going after Megami. And it's so funny. There's a scene where when Megami reveals that he's the head of the Zenin clan, Hakuri's he believes that if Zenin clan helps him out, that he could get a bunch of rule changes made. He's like, yeah, let's be friends. Now basically now the Zenin clan of course got taken out. Now I believe based on the word I think it's the day after technically is when it gets taken is when Maki kills all of them. Yeah, so it's very interesting. So then um yeah, and yeah, and then now Kiara is staying outside of it. It's staying outside so that, basically so that, Hawker's idea is to have someone on the outside they could, maybe help keep tabs in because they can't contact them on the inside. That's why they haven't been able to contact Yuta. So Yeah, so then like fights start. So Yuji and Megumi enter the Clone Game colony. They drop their locations. They fight some people, and they ask about the target, and they're guided basically both to different locations. So obviously, at least one is lying, if not both. So yeah, I thought this was a good episode. Obviously, introducing Clone Games, seeing all these new sorcerers. You have the old sorcerers, the newer sorcerers. So you have all these new characters coming in. So yeah, I thought it was a good episode. Looking forward to the next one. MF Ghost, season 3, episode 7. So in this episode, the trip to the beach happens. So Iva brags to Shun about it, and Shun basically invites himself along. And yeah, and Ren and Kanto arrive, and it is funny when Shun's like look at Ren, he's like, you look familiar, because he's into Angel 7. Then when he sees Ren in her bathing suit, her swimsuit, in her bikini, he's like, crap, it is her. So he's mad. He has Kanto go with him, and he's mad that Kanto didn't tell him about him living with Angel 7, and he like punches him. You know, Ren's embarrassed about being revealed to be MF ain't G Angel, so she like runs off. Kanto, doesn't want so anyone to see a bruise. Now Shun um and Ogata, they like they hang out with the other two girls. They say all four of them have a good time. It seems like, and yeah, so then after that, Larry, so Kanta hangs out with Ren, and then a new racer comes in named Emma Green, who's a classmate of Kanta's back in England. She drives an Aston Martin, and so she asks Kanto basically why he's in Japan, why he's in MFG. She says she's competing for one race in MFG, and it's obviously Emma's into Kanata. And yeah, so it looks like we're about to get a big race revolving them. And so yeah, who knows how it's gonna go? I think this could be the final season, 'cause there's only 23 volumes. Well, the 23 volumes, so it could go on longer, depending on how many. I mean, a lot depends on how many volumes are covered per season. Like if it's like the standard like 5, or if it's some reason have it longer for some reason. Who knows? Overall, I thought it was a pretty good episode. Looking forward to the next one. Sends to be a Hero, episode 6. So in this episode, Xylo, tries to charge towards Iblis with Teorita. Now Tatsuya kills a lot of the humans, siding with the demons. Now Teorita is concerned about killing humans due to guess how she's made. She can't really bring herself to kill humans. And so yeah, and then yeah, so then Ventum calls in some soldiers, even though Xylo does not approve of that. And then some mercenaries, because they're chasing Dada. That and then mercenaries are chasing Dada because he stole their money. So Iblis is confused by everything, but Xylo gets an opening due to the confusion and attacks Iblis, then lures it into a trap. And Iblis survives. Xylo's wounded while protecting Turia, and Turia helps Xylo summon a powerful sword that, using her powers, that can be used for a limited time. And so Xylo then kills Iblis. And he passes out, and he wakes up in the infirmary, greeted by, and he saw that Tyria comes in. She says that if he doesn't give her a head pass, that's fine, but she doesn't want him to forget her. Now when Xylo sees Tyria, he first sees the almost has like an illusion of the Sinerva, the Prius goddess he was with, and then so Zao then gives Turia a head pat, and he meets with Captain Docron, Captain of the 12th Order. Captain warns Xylo about a faction of humans called the Coexisters, who that seeks harmony, that seeks like peace between like humans and the demons, and that they view Xylo as a threat to them. Now that could be interesting. The Coexisters, like, what is it like? Is it like actually promoting coexistence, or is it like basically worshiping demons? There is a big difference there. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's gonna be interesting, especially with the premise. Like yeah, and then yeah. So I thought this was a really good episode. Looking forward to the next one. Star Trek Starfleet Academy Episode 6. So in this one, the Starfleet Academy and the War College cadets, they do a joint like training exercise aboard the USS Miyazaki, basically, which has a singularity drive that was experimental, and when it was first used, it would disable the ship and killed everyone on board. But during the training mission, some aliens called the Furies, they're like half human, half alien, cannibals, whatever. And all the cadets on board are on the ship are taken hostage. So everyone's concerned about how to like deal with it. Ake has no choice but to work with an enemy of hers, Nasbraka, who so Braca was the enemy from the first episode, who like basically who was associated with Caleb and his mother. So yeah, and Nuss had defeated Brock had defeated the Furies earlier. So during the whole bit, there's a whole bunch of conversations between Ake and Braca. So Braca basically tricks the Federation into bringing a weapon system from a nearby facility, and he disables it. Now the cadets are saved with the you know cadets were saved with this. So the Basil, Tarima. So the beginning, so Tarima was basically having sex with Caleb and getting inside his mind. Now, during the whole hostage situation, Tarma like uses telepathy to communicate with Caleb, and the whole thing, like the Furies are killed, but the whole when she used her powers, like it left her comatose during the rescue operation. Everything, Rocco steals like a bunch of stuff. Like he steals stuff from the weapons facility, he kills a bunch of people, and you know Biavi's like the Vulcan cadet from the War College. He's killed. No one cares about Biavi. Like it's all like, yeah, this episode sucked. Now I will say the only from an acting standpoint, so Paul Giamatti is actually pretty good as Nusbraka. He actually knows what he's doing. Like he is the only one that actually seemed to put forth some effort this episode. Everyone else is like, what the frick? And yeah, Sam's like damaged for reasons. I'm like, it's a hologram. Shouldn't some stuff go through it through a hologram? I mean, granted, this is the same hologram that got drunk last episode. That was so retarded. Yeah, this show is freaking trash. But now, like Nusbraka was like the only like the most interesting part of the episode, and I think a lot had to just do with Paul Giamatti. But like the writing was so freaking bad. Like, yeah, like this is just so stupid. Like, and like it is dumb. And but yeah, overall, I thought this episode sucked. But unfortunately, I will watch the rest of it. I'm 101. So this is a heist movie, based off a novella. I'm starring, Chris Hemsworth as Mike Davis. So Davis is like a big time jewel thief in L.A. Uses Highway 101. A lot of his heists are based around Highway 101. Hence the you know name the movie Crime 101. And so Detective Lou Lubesnik, who's played by Mark Ruffalo, he's like a detective who's like the only one who believes that there's a thief like centered around Highway 101. Basically he's trying to like find the thief. A lot of people don't like believe it's the case, or they still want to or ignore it because to like make themselves not look as bad. And so Mike pulls off a heist, diamonds and then so basically his fence is concerned about Mike getting soft. And so basically he hires Orman, who's a psychotic violent person, to kill some people associated involving Mike's crimes and steal from Mike. So at least a few confrontations here and there between Mike and Orman. And other main character is Sharon Combs. Basically, she's like one of the higher ups at insurance company. She basically been passed over for promotion to partner multiple times, and yeah, I mean and it gets worse for like a new young female, significantly younger female, salesperson, actually closes the deal that she started, and then Mike, gets into contact with Sharon about for her help in a heist, and that's and so yeah, so it's implied that Mike Davis was like born poor, that he's trying to get enough money to where he could just retire well, and there's whole deal. There's a lot of mysteries regarding there's some mystery regarding his past. Like Maya, who's like some lady who hit his car, but ended up starting dating Mike. Mentioned that Maya said that he didn't have any picture of his family, nothing about his past. So yeah, so Sharon eventually getting disgruntled having been approached by Micah, she agrees to help him with the heist of this client who the new person um had closed the deal with, wedding venue, bunch of diamonds. Then Sharon quits her job. She has a break that she calls, Lubznik explains everything. Lubznik pretends to be a courier for the diamonds and is taken by Mike to the rich couple. And then, Mike points a gun at all three of them. Then, Lubznik's able to pull his gun out. Then Orman comes in, causes chaos like he was throughout the movie. He points his gun at Mike, and then he shoots on the rich husband or rich groom, whatever. In order to, and I thought the guy was dead, but then I saw I was like, oh, he's still alive. But then, so when he's about to kill the detective, Mike shoots and kills him. And knowing that Mike doesn't like to hurt people, Luzik's able to talk him down. And he convinces, to basically de-escalate. Luzik tells Mike to leave, not come back, and that basically Orman will take the fall for all the crimes. And yeah, so then so Mike then gives a picture of his family to Maya, and then gives a Ferrari to Luznik. Have do the conversation they had about cars and how Luznik like Mustangs. And yeah, so I thought it was a good movie. Chris Hemsworth is pretty good. Ruffalo, when he's focused on acting, Ruffalo can actually act. Halle Berry is good. So yeah, I thought it was a really, good movie, good heist movie. Interesting, all the twists they brought in. Koge was very chaotic. And so yeah, I thought it was a good movie. I recommend watching it. And that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you can put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.